Welcome, my name is Colleen Tauke and I'm the sewing specialist at Fons and Porter. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to put together the blocks in the table topper called Autumn Cheer. For the pattern for this, you can purchase that through our website, so visit us there. Okay, we see what an isolated one of the blocks looks like here on the Sewing Center. And it's constructed with 2.5-inch strips of oranges, yellows, greens, and we're using a white consistent background. And then of course we're going to add just a little bit of brown. So we need a few larger blocks of this chocolate brown, and it's going to need a few small squares to do that very center piece in the table topper. So we'll move those out of the way. And we'll break this down by its components. Within this large block, there are 4 patches. So here, 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 and here are 4 patches. And then we have 4 blocks that are diamond square units, like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in the outer edges, we have flying geese units here and here. So 2 on each side of the block, going all the way around. Now, if you look at this from a distance, you'll notice this is real similar to what we would, the block we call a carpenter's wheel or a carpenter's star. So this is the block we're going to create for the table topper. So when we begin, we're going to be cutting the consistent center square that's brown. So we'll set that aside. We have those done. And then we're going to be creating the 4 patch units that go into the blocks. And they are each made up of 3 yellows and 1 white square. Now, the thing is with this arrangement, the designer is keeping the placement of each of the various fabrics consistent throughout. So you're going to need to create these in the exact same order each time so that we have 4 that look exactly alike. They're just rotated in their placement within the block. So 4 of the 4 patches that look like this. And then we'll set those aside. Simple 4-patch construction. The next block is that diamond square. And this one's a little bit, sometimes can be more tricky. What we're wanting to create is this block in the very end. So what we're going to be doing is follow your instructions for the sizes of the blocks that, for the background pieces. Those are cut, and then 2 yellows and 2 different greens. This is kind of a scrappy effect, but these are 2 different yellow prints here. They are very similar, but one has more of a linen texture to it. And you're going to be cutting those off your strips, so 2.5-inch squares. So we need those to go around the outside. What we do with those is to mark each of the 4 fabrics with a line diagonal from corner to corner and down through all the 4 that are used within this block. And then we go into the construction. So what we need to do is, again, you're going to want to create 4 that are identical. So the placement of the fabrics, be aware of it. Follow the diagrams so you can create that consistent block. And we have a marbled yellow and an olive green with kind of a ring pattern to it. So I put those in opposite corners like this, and you can stitch these 2 in place. Now you can't go all the way around, because if you were to, after stitching these 2, go right into stitching the next, you're going to then lock and not be able to open up these pieces. So just do 2 at a time, the parallel pieces here. And I have 1 stitched already. So we've got them laid in the correct order. And now they're stitched here. I stitched them with red. You're going to want to use a thread, probably either a cream or a white for stitching, but red so that you can see this. And then you're going to open those pieces toward the outer edge like this. You're going to go in and you're going to want to press them with your iron. I'm just going to finger press them for now. We're going to open those up, and then we're going to go back and trim away the underneath triangle, leaving approximately 1/4 inch from the stitched line towards the outer corner. Then you will come in and put the 3rd and 4th triangles or squares in place. So I've got 1 of them going here. Let's lay this so it's oriented the same. And here's 1 of them in place. We would go in and do the same thing here with the other green, and trim away again that underneath triangle to reduce the bulk till we get 4 matching diamond squares like this for our quilt. So we're collecting all the pieces. Let's now put together that center part of our autumn cheer block. So we need the brown in the very center. The green creates kind of the star effect on the inside. So we're placing those. And you'll see it looks kind of, it's a 9-patch construction at this point. And then the fun part is making sure that you orient the 4-patch then. The white square goes toward the center brown so that you get things all turned properly. And the last one here. Then you'll realize that it's just a simple 9-patch type construction. You're going to create rows, a row here, a row here, and the 3rd row, and then join your rows, and you'll have that center part of the autumn cheer block put together. Now, we're not quite done yet because you see that there are those flying geese that I referred to earlier and the outer edge. And we've got pieces. Take away all these. So the flying geese are made with the diagonal seams method. Move these down just a little so that you can catch what I'm talking about here. We've got rectangles as the base of our flying geese, and then 2 different oranges that you will put in place. We're going to be making 2 sets per side, and it's a repeat again. So we need 4 that look like this and 4 that look like this, and so that you get that scramble of the assorted oranges all together. So in order to make, let's see, we've got 2 of them done here. This is where we're headed towards. One that we need to put together and one that's partially done. So let's make this one. We would then put the dark orange in place. Again, these are squares cut from your strips, and they're just simply marked with a diagonal seam, corner to corner, stitching line there, stitch and fold out. That gives us half of it. Then we come in and do the other side and repeat till the same diagonal seams method. Get 16 pieces like this. And the other color combination, I've got one started, and then I would come in and do the other orange on the other side, this. And so you would yield 2 different kinds, but 16 total of the flying geese. Then once you have all the flying geese made, you're going to be making somewhat, and you've got this already assembled, you're going to be making this outer border that goes around it. So what you need to do is take 2 of the flying geese so that you have 1 of each color combination, stitch them side by side, and add white squares to the outer. And you will make a total of 8 of those for the entire table topper, but you would need 2 of them here as sides. And then you make a set with, again, 1 of each of the color combinations, and you'll make 8 of those total for the table topper. And those are the longer rows that go across. So you've got a short row here with just a square, then a longer row along the side. Now, 4 of them are going to get this little flippy corner with a brown. You'll notice in the middle of the table topper there's a brown square that floats in the very center. Instead of leaving that just plain white, we went in and put in, or Tony put it, the designer put a brown square that again uses that same diagonal seam method as you've been using, corner to corner stitched, flipped out, and I'll show you just simply. You can use the scissors. You don't have to use a rotary cutter. You can come in and cut away that extra fabric underneath, and then arrange that. So you would have 1 here. Let's see. Once we've got everything arranged, you would have a long side here, and you'd have 2 of these, so 1 here and 1 here. So that creates autumn cheer. For more of our video tutorials, visit our website. Thank you for joining me today.